Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 114, Lamar. Badass Monster Killer.
H.P. Lovecraft once again.
Yeah, we slipped into this. We did Call Girl of Cthulhu and got this movie not even realizing there was an H.P. Lovecraft theme in here. So, yeah.
I guess he's having a re-emergence, I guess. So, man, it's squid, tentacles, sex, and aliens.
In a kind of 70s throwback, right?
Yes. We finally are acknowledging Black History Month with a blaxploitation movie, like you said, with sci-fi and kind of a Sin City aesthetic. We're going to be talking about good old green screen, Joe.
You have the main character. He's that almost like a parody from those old 70s films. And he's in, what's the organization's name again?
Because he says it multiple times, the Department of Supernatural Security.
Right. So, yeah. So he's going around killing monsters and stuff.
Not only that, Joe, killing monsters, picking up chicks and driving around in his very cool car, all in green screen. And, that's basically the movie.
Yeah, there's like a cult that's trying to bring the Bride of Cthulhu again, I guess. And
is that the thing with all H.P. Lovecraft? There's always a cult that's always trying to bring back Cthulhu.
Yeah.
This time, because previously it was the woman who was going to bear Cthulhu. This time it's the bride of Cthulhu. So,
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so luckily we have our friend here he's hunting down the monsters and, like you said, picking up the women. What is he? He always does this thing like where they're in peril, and he'll tell them like what he does, and then he'll be like, "We could talk about that later."
We can talk about that later. We can hook up about that later, but just hold on a second, baby. We can go back to my apartment and have sex, but right now I'm very busy with hunting down monsters and stopping cults and stuff like that.
Well, it's a good thing because the women that he ends up picking up into his carnal exploits there, they end up, he teaches them how to be ninjas, apparently, and they become part of his posse. So.
And see, in our time, Joe, it's always, he might be seen as toxic, but I think this movie proves that he was actually grooming these women to be part of his organization to also fight monsters. That's what I'm going to say. Move on. Just move on.
I'll agree. Now.
Yeah, there you go.
The CGI, the green screen. What'd you think?
I think, okay, first of all, it's going to be a little rough. Okay. But I feel like it's part of its charm.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have like the technology or I would say the scope and all this kind of stuff to do like great stuff, you have an artistic vision. If you look at the green screen, like the buildings are like hunched over. It's like warped. Really dark. It's warped. So I appreciate it for that. And then we got to talk about the practical effects.
Okay,
Stop motion. Yes.
I love stop motion stuff. I think it's fun. So I liked it.
I can appreciate it. I like it. They did different things. I appreciate it. I like the look of it. I like how it's like that kind of B-movie-esque look.
Yeah.
So,
like you said, that's all the charm of this movie. Like, that's what makes it fun.
Yes.
And the plot, the plot's kind of funny. And they did the whole 70s throwback, which they did a good job of that. Like, they had the acting was on point with that stuff. It was a total parody of that. But yeah, the way they were acting, they had all the kind of set characters that you need. The music and everything was from that era. Like, it was all done well and thought out.
The only thing I would say is like pacing and kind of like overstayed as welcome a little bit.
That's exactly what I thought.
Elaborate.
I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, I'm enjoying this movie at the start. I'm having a great time, but it's almost like the gag gets old because it was a good hour and a half.
Yes.
And yet after a while, it was like they were introducing new characters that weren't all that important, and like things would come to a stop. Just to have a scene, and then also to have the same kinds of scenes.
Repetitious.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So But I mean, yeah, it was a good time. Just a little bit, too repetitious in certain points, pacing and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I appreciate the B movie S stuff. Like you said, it's just straight up Black Dynamite meets I don't know, H.P. Lovecraft. That's what it is. That's what this movie is, basically.
Yeah.
So,
like you said, with a little bit of that Sin City vibe because of the green screen background stuff. But yeah, overall, I mean, they did the best too with because I'm assuming this was done like micro budget or whatever.
I saw the budget was like $35,000.
There you go. And they stretched it and they did a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. So, well, what are we rating it, I guess?
I will give this a 4. I would
Okay.
say that this is a decent little B movie, just with the repetition, just add some more new stuff, because I would watch a sequel to this. So I like it. I feel like you could keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion, like maybe it's not H.P. Lovecraftian. Maybe, of course, they go to zombies or maybe they go to vampires. So I feel like it has that to it. So yeah, I give it a 4. 4 out of 5 because we have to specify how many turds. Someone has told us this before. Yes.
We were called out.
Yes.
I'm going to say 3 out of 5. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun little thing. It did have charm and stuff. But yeah, the gag did get old for me after a while. And it was just like, at a certain point, I was like, come on, let's just get to the end. I was like, I've seen enough. But yeah, I would definitely like them to make a sequel. And like you said, you can go, because he's just like the supernatural agency there. So you could do all kinds of ghosts and all kinds of other creatures other than Lovecraft's creatures. So what movie would we want them to make a Lovecraft theme out of? Because we've seen the Call Girl thing. That was like a romantic comedy wrapped with a Lovecraft. Now we've seen a blaxploitation wrapped with Lovecraft. What else could we see?
I don't know if we're still in this era. H.P. Lovecraft zombies, they're weird, they're super sexual or something like that, something like that. Here's an original thing. What if there's you mix Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of thing, or something like that. They probably, but you know what? They probably made a porn or something like that about that. So whatever.
Yeah. I was thinking what would be a good just an odd mashup. I was like maybe Goodfellas with H.P. Lovecraft or something. Just really mash it up with something.
A mafia-esque H.P. Lovecraftian thing.
That might be something. We haven't seen a good mafia movie in a long time.
We haven't. Okay, you can do, I guess, straight up just gangsters in the hood. H.P. Lovecraft in the hood or something like that. Oh, Lord.
Well, there you go. Well,
yeah.
Does that wrap this one up?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
All right. Badass monster killer. Pretty good. Peace.
Yeah. Deuces.
Thanks for watching that episode. If you like, subscribe, and share, you might win a prize, like a lunch date with Lamar.
You made that shit up.